Good morning. My name is Willem van Valkenburg, and I'm president of the board of the Open Education Global. We are a worldwide organization network of universities that are all active in open education. I would have liked to be there with you in Japan, but unfortunately with the current conditions, we're not allowed to travel. And it's a quite busy time for education. At my university, we have to move into remote teaching and learning in overnight. And I've been working almost nonstop to make that happen for our campus students. And I know a lot of you also have been very busy with this. So I would have had a much more extensive presentation, but unfortunately I was lacking the time now getting everything done for our students, because that's why we're doing education and open education. So today I will talk about open education as providing lifelong learning as opportunities for all. I think that open education gives everyone an opportunity to learn, and it is not restricted to a university, and you can continue to use it. And that actually aligns quite well with the Sustainable Development Goals. There are 17 goals, and one of them is the quality education. And what it says is ensuring inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. And I think that's where open education can play a role. So through education, people can get better jobs and have better lives. And especially in times like this, when everyone is stuck at home, quarantined, education and open education can be a great opportunity for them to start learning, to keep on learning, and to prepare them for their next job. But there are big differences in open education. So if we look at a worldwide scale, we see on one side global south, where they still have the problems with internet connectivity, power, but also the lack of teachers. And that's still a problem, and open education can help there, but there are different problems than we have in the global north. Let's say we see here in North America and in Europe, the textbook prices are rising, the tuition costs are going up, and for both of these problems, open education can help. It doesn't solve all our problems, but definitely can help us move in the right direction. So open educational resources, what are those? So these are the official definition. Open education combines the tradition of knowledge sharing and creation with 21st century technology to create a vast pool of openly shared educational resources. And what I really like here is it's going back to the essential of what's education about. It's sharing our knowledge and creating knowledge together with your students, and really being responsive to the learner needs. We want the learner to learn and to get better. And that's what we can do by sharing our knowledge and as open education. If we look at the term open, it means something different than just free. It's more than free. It's free plus permissions. So you're not just giving it away, you also give the other one permissions what they can do with it. I think many of you are familiar with the 5 R's. So that's actually what's really important in open education. So you give them the right to retain, so make and own and copy, reuse, so they can use the resources in all different ways, revise, so they can actually adopt it, modify it, and improve it, remix it, so they can combine multiple items, and redistribute, so that they can share it with their students, with their other learners. If we look at why should we care about open education, you see that for students, open education offers free access to some of the world's best courses and degree programs. They can also have a huge cost saving as an alternative to expensive textbooks. For teachers and governments, we see that it really can save them money and time to make it themselves. So they can adopt it to their local language and cultures and use them as a basis for innovating their education. And they still have access also to those free and legal access to some of the world's best courses. So what about those lifelong learners? I think here it says free information is a fundamental human right, and the OERs make it possible for people of all ages and backgrounds to learn more about the world around them and access the tools they need to improve their lives and livelihoods. So it actually makes lifelong learning much easier because the content is there. And that's what we now actually see. In my university, we have MOOCs on our edX platform. And since the start of the coronavirus and everyone quarantined, we've seen the number of enrollments in our MOOCs double compared to a normal week. So a lot of people are now going into open education because they're stuck at home. So this is an overview of the MOOCs we offer as TU Delft. And it's quite diverse, but it's all about engineering, science, and design. All these MOOCs are openly licensed. So that means that anyone can use the resources of this course and can reuse them, can adopt them, can remix them, and do different things with it. An example there is the localization of MOOCs. So I have some examples here. So first is Kinok. It's a Vietnamese startup of young Vietnamese people. And what they're doing is actually taking some of our MOOCs, but also MOOCs of MIT and Harvard, and translating them in Vietnamese. And that way, young Vietnamese people have access to these resources and actually can learn themselves. Another example is Asuka Academy. I think you're all familiar with it. And I think that's a great example. A couple of our courses are in there. And it's also translating those English language MOOCs into Japanese to help the Japanese people. And in 2016, I know you received an award for that. Another example is the Adrak platform. It's founded by the Queen Rania Foundation, focused on women in the Arabic world, and also they are really localizing the MOOCs. So not just taking the content and translating it, but actually adding local cases about what is happening in the Arabic world. For example, we have a MOOC about solar energy and are using that MOOC to adding cases about solar energy situation in Arabic world. That's different. There's much more sun than in the Netherlands or in Western Europe. And actually that enriches those courses. And actually we got some really good, useful stuff back from them that actually we used in our courses as well to improve our courses. And the last example I have is Saiteng X. It's a Chinese platform. We all know the big firewall in China. And this way, we actually got content of our MOOCs. It's published on the Saiteng X platform with Chinese subtitles so that the Chinese people can also access this great content. And that's all possible because we license those courses with an open license, and they can do that. They don't have to pay for it. Some do because they like us and they want some extra, but it is free to do that. I think that's a great example of open education in the world and can really move the world forward. So going back to the lifelong learning opportunities for all. If we match those sustainable development goals, then we read here, it's the inclusiveness is important and it connects to allows adaptation. The equitable, it's open and transparent. The quality is about adapt and improve, and for always the open access. So I think it's a great way to see that open education can have a big role in lifelong learning for all. Thank you very much. I hope you have a great conference, and hopefully in the future I will see you in person in Japan. Thank you very much.